Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And the Super Bowl was certainly one that will be memorable for many people, but especially the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They win their first championship since the 02 to 03 season. Tom Brady wins his seventh ring. Lots of storylines. Even people who picked the Buccaneers, like Tyler and myself, did not see a blowout like this coming at all. So we're going to recap the big game, what went down, key plays, big players, and everything we think. Should Tom Brady have won the MVP? Gronk's big performance. What happened to the Chiefs? We're going to break it all down and more. So who wants to start us off?
I guess I'll start us off, and I have two things to say to start us off. First of all, congratulations to the Buccaneers. You'll hear later that I was not expecting you to win this game. I did not think they were going to play the way they did, but they played, I think, their best game of the season, especially defensively, and congratulations on winning the Super Bowl. Also, number two is we got to this point. We went through this whole crazy COVID season. Huge shout out to the NFL again for doing this, and I didn't say three, but I'm adding a three now. It hasn't hit us yet because we're making this right after the Super Bowl, but we're in the off season now.
We are,
and it's going to be a sad feeling when next Sunday and down the stretch. It's going to be a long winter, as some might put it, and into the summer as well as the off season goes in spring. But it's it's kind of a sad thing.
It's bittersweet, I think. We got all the way through here. It was so uncertain, especially heading into the season. We got a Super Bowl winner. That's exciting. But, we got dark times ahead here in terms of watching football. But don't worry. We will be constantly posting just as we normally do in the offseason. So it's kind of bittersweet, but let's talk about this game. I'll start us off since I'm already talking. Obviously, score 31-9 in favor of the Buccaneers. Jordan said it. Buccaneers probably played their best game of the season, and the Chiefs one of their worst, if not the worst. And that could just be a result of that great Bucs defense out there tonight. 2 interceptions, one by my man Antoine Winfield, another one by Devin White, who I also loved when he was drafted. So it was a nice interception night for me watching, and I was rooting for the Bucs as well. So great defensively is where you got to start with it. Really, what we saw, the entire Bucs team was clicking, and the entire Chiefs team just nothing was working. That's strange to see, especially this year with the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was really strange, but I think the Bucs, what they've shown all year is that they have the ability to make adjustments, and this is not the same team that was losing to the Saints in the regular season, or that lost to the Bears on that Thursday night, or that lost to the Chiefs the first time and fell behind 17-0 and let Tyreek Hill have 250 yards. This team has grown and evolved all throughout the season, and I've said this as they went on their playoff run. They've improved and they've found their identity. They've gotten in sync. And if this game is in week 4, Kansas City wins. This game was in week 12, 10 weeks ago. Kansas City won. And it just goes to show that Bruce Arians and this coaching staff has had the ability to learn from their mistakes and make adjustments. They did a lot better at containing Tyreek Hill. That opened up things for Travis Kelce, but still containing Tyreek Hill was key. Establishing a ground game, which I said was going to be good for them, keeping the ball out of Mahomes' hands. They did just that. Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones both had some great physical runs. Just a really complete effort from Tampa, and they deserved it. They had a great offseason getting Brady. They drafted very well. And just some of the guys they got, you could say, oh, they went there because of Brady, but it's not like they built a super team. Like Leonard Fournette was cut, Antonio Brown,
He shouldn't have been. Well, we all know that
Leonard Fournette was cut, and it's not like
that's not the Bucs' fault.
Yeah, it's not the Bucs' fault, and he was cut from what would be the worst team in the NFL. Antonio Brown, he's had obviously his issues in the past. Good to see him, that he's gotten his stuff together and that he's a Super Bowl champ. That's great for him. Happy for him. We didn't know what they were going to get out of him. Some people didn't think he was going to be there for 2 weeks, and then guys like Rob Gronkowski, we didn't know what shape he would be in after a year off. But I think the way that this team came together, found their identity. It wasn't always pretty. They had some rough losses, but they came together. They weren't the best team in October. Like Tom Brady said, they had a rough month of November, but at the end of the day, in January and February, they were the best team, and that's when it matters most.
You brought up a name, Rob Gronkowski, and I think it's, we got to give him credit. He's been good, really, his entire career. And I think the last Super Bowl he played with the Patriots against the Rams, he was not very productive. He had that one pass, I believe.
Yeah,
that was a good one. But 2 touchdowns from him in this game, that was a huge tone setter. And really, as a fan of football, that's what you like to see, Brady to Gronk in the Super Bowl for a touchdown twice. So that was really what got them going, and once that really first touchdown went on, the Chiefs didn't have anything to go on just because there was no momentum going their way. They didn't score a touchdown the entire game. I don't know if they've ever not gotten to double-digit points, especially not this year. I don't think they have. It was amazing to see what the Buccaneers did. We've talked about it. If the Chiefs play at their best, no one's beating them. But if the Bucs play at their best, which is pretty much what we saw today. It looks like no one could have beat them either, not even this Chiefs team. Heck, they didn't even come close.
Yeah, they did not.
And as Tyler so lovingly mentioned earlier, I'm the one at the table that picked the Chiefs. So you might think I'm very upset after this 31-9 loss, and of course I am because I was very confident that the Chiefs were going to win this game. Obviously they did not, but I think things kind of went the best way they could, I guess, because they went exactly the way I thought they would go, or I would like it to go if the Bucs were to win this game, because of the things that I said. I gave few good things to the Bucs. I had a whole rant that I went on about how they maybe were not good enough to compete with the Chiefs, but I said if they were going to win this game, they'd have to establish the run. That defense would have to play great, and they did both of those things. The run game was very good, as Ryan said, and I know Tom Brady won MVP, and congratulations to him, but just because that defense, they had a completely spread out game across the board. Everyone was playing well, and defending a team like the Chiefs is nearly impossible. And they made it look like it was the Jacksonville Jaguars out there playing. They were playing that good defensively. So that was kind of the keys coming into the game, is establishing the run to get Brady going a bit more. And that defense, I mean, if you can give the MVP to a whole group of people, it would go to the defense by far, because they no doubt won that game. I think the offense played all right. They could have played
Put up
better.
31 points.
Yeah.
This is a good game.
Yeah, but that defense for sure was the stars of the game. They when it came down to it, the defense was the ultimate thing that just shoved the Chiefs' heads right into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is just a note for me to be happy. I had Travis Kelce winning the MVP. Obviously, he didn't win the game. He had 133 yards, though, the best player on the Chiefs. And my guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, had himself a decent game for 9 rushes and 64 yards. So I was happy every time he did good.
Yes, you
But
were.
ultimately,
Almost too happy.
the Chiefs lost by a lot. And so it's a bit of devastation because I was so confident. But you know what? You got to keep your head high.
There you go.
Yeah. Obviously, the big story of this is 7 Super Bowls now for Brady. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see that again. I mean, Mahomes has a chance to catch up, but after that loss, I think Romo said it during the broadcast, if he really wants to prove he's better with the rings, he's got to get 8. Because
because now the tie goes
if it's
down.
that 7-7 tie, then tie goes to Brady.
I don't think
Mahomes
Mahomes is thinking about that right now.
I'm
I
just
know
saying,
he's thinking about his legacy, but right now he's thinking about, man, I just lost the Super Bowl.
Well,
I want to get back.
No, that's what we're thinking about as sports analysts. He's definitely not thinking, oh my gosh, no, I can't beat Tom Brady. That's not what he's thinking. But it's worth mentioning as well that the Chiefs kind of were beating on themselves with those penalties earlier on in the game. I think in the end of it, it looked like the Bucs would have won regardless of all that, because they just really dominated in all aspects of it. Look at the defense, you guys have mentioned it, but every aspect of it. The line was getting to Mahomes in an instant. It seemed like he was running for his life, and he was making really good plays, by the way, for it being in those situations he was. The tackles being out were a huge impact. So that front area was doing good. Then you go back to those cornerbacks and those linebackers. They were on fire as well, and those safeties didn't let a deep pass go the entire game.
They didn't really throw many. But
Well, I mean, they couldn't. They were looking.
Yeah.
They had looks to go deep, but it's either the pressure got there too fast or the coverage was too good. I mean, props to this Buccaneers defense. I think Brady deserved it, the MVP of this game, but Jordan said it. The Buccaneers defense was really the reason why they dominated like they did.
Yeah, and all 3 levels too. I mean, just looking at the stats here, there's just contributions from safeties, linebackers, D linemen, cornerbacks, just everyone. I mean, just looking here, Devin White, he's really had a great postseason. He missed their first playoff game against Washington, but since then he has been outstanding. Just looking here, 12 total tackles, 8 of them were solo tackles. Levante David had 6 total tackles. Your guy Antoine Winfield also 6. Sean Murphy Bunting also 6. Carlton Davis 5. You get the idea. It's not just one guy. It's like sometimes you look at a defense and say, wow, they got that one standout guy, but who else? This is one of the most well-balanced, well-rounded, just solid defensive units that they've got playmakers at every position. Maybe they don't have, a top 3 guy in the league at every position or anything like that, but they've got guys that know what they're doing. Todd Bowles has done a great job with this defensive unit. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the head coach again in a year or two. We'll see where that goes. But they just came together. The defense has improved. The offense, we've mentioned how they got in sync. There were times in the regular season where you'd watch Tampa and they'd look frustrated and, someone ran the wrong route or Brady didn't throw the ball deep enough. They look in sync. And, I know you could say, oh, they got all these great skill position players, but in a truly unprecedented year without a training camp, without preseason games, it could take time to learn with all these new players, learn their tendencies, learn how they run their routes, what they like to do. But they learned it just at the right time, peaked at the end of the regular season, into the playoffs on both sides of the ball. That's why they're Super Bowl champs.
And I wanted to talk about and go back to the penalties that Tyler was talking about before. It's not going the way you think it's going to go. It's probably going to go the opposite way. But after the first half, I think it's hard to argue that maybe some of those penalties should not have been called. And it's definitely
There were two of them I was like, meh about.
Yeah.
But the other ones were like, okay, I would throw the flag there too.
And also the Chiefs were shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
That
they
second wrong touchdown was because someone
They went
lined up
offsides
offsides
on the field goal.
goal.
Yep,
So
that's
that's
right.
what I was about to say if you let me
Yeah.
speak.
Yep.
But they lined up
How's it feel?
offsides, and then the next time they just threw it into the end zone very quickly and scored that touchdown. So in the first half, the Chiefs were shooting themselves in the foot. That game probably should have been closer. In the first half, it just wasn't. But in the second half, I'll say it, the Bucs dominated that Chiefs team. Offensively, they only scored 10 points, but the defense stepped it up again. Constant pass rush made Mahomes just run everywhere. Good meme, by the way. I always love our memes. The Weeknd, good halftime show. One moment that we all liked here when we were watching it was when he was in that weird room with all the lights.
Yeah, it was like a
and
maze.
It's like looking
Yeah, the
around
maze,
with all
and
the
then
skeleton
the
people.
skeleton people. That was it kind of seemed dumb, but I liked it at the same time. But anyways, there was a meme about how he was holding the camera and looking everywhere, and that was Mahomes every time that he dropped back, which is true. But I just think the constant pressure was a thing that really wrecked this game. It was hard to make it and analyze how good the secondary was playing just because there was a constant pressure. But every time they threw the ball, the secondary was always there as well. So can't stress it enough. Buccaneers defense played lights out in this game. The biggest reason why they won this game, and also I'll say it, the Bucs deserved this game. They played a better 60 minutes than the Chiefs.
And that's what we talked about headed in this one. We said, look at the players on the team. You think, wow, the Chiefs are going to win this one. But it's 60 minutes of football with that Tom Brady effect and guys that haven't won the Super Bowl before. That's the kind of stuff that can happen in those 60 minutes. But let's flip it to the other side of the field now with the Chiefs. Talking about them. We talked about Mahomes a bit. By the way, the stat line for him wasn't great, but they didn't score any
270
touchdowns.
yards.
Yeah, and with the pressure he was under, that's honestly not that bad.
No, that was very good.
more than
I mean,
Brady.
we saw him making acrobatic throws. He threw one while he was almost basically laying on the ground. He spawned in through one, and they were almost caught a couple of times. It was pretty awesome to watch. It's Mahomes stuff. Didn't end his way. The running game, they got going a bit. Jordan mentioned Edwards-Helaire. That was at the beginning of the second half where that really started to go, but they couldn't stick with it because they were down by so much. Tyreek Hill was taken out of the game in a large part, and that's a huge part of why they won. And you could tell he was frustrated. Antoine Winfield hit him with the peace sign.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that was
awesome.
pretty funny at the end of it. Just a little payback for the last time those two teams
It is a
played.
penalty, though. Ryan's trying to make
I
the
don't think
statement
it
that it's
should be
not
a
a
penalty.
penalty.
Like,
It's taunting.
with all these celebrations that they let them play. You don't. If
It's
you don't,
taunting. Tyler, is that a penalty?
I mean, I would throw the flag too.
I'm not
Look,
saying
but
I'm not saying he's a bad person for doing it.
if he said, I don't know what he said. I don't
didn't
know
look
if there
like
was
he said
something.
anything.
If he did, then that's different. But from what I saw, I mean, it's 2 fingers. He's not hurting anybody. Like, just
He was up. It wasn't just like he went like this and wasn't looking at it. He
Okay.
was staring
Can we
at him,
agree
getting
that
up in
Tony
his
Romo
face.
kind of overreacted about it on the
oh,
broadcast?
absolutely. He's like, oh, you can't be doing that. That's totally unnecessary. Like, I love Tony
It is
Romo. Don't get-
unnecessary.
It is okay.
You
You're
think
winning.
it's necessary?
I think if you win in the Super Bowl, you can have a little fun. I think that's
You
fine.
could have fun, but you
Yes.
don't need to taunt. I'm not hating on Antoine
No,
Winfield. I do
it's
like
Better
him.
not be.
No,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I'm just trying. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have done it. I think it's funny. I think that it's a bit of what is it? My gosh, I'm blanking on an easy word right now.
It's kind
Not-
of rubbing salt in the wound while you
Yeah.
try and find it. And
that's
you won the Super Bowl. I mean, against Tyreek Hill that had been messing with you, and you shut him out the entire game, and that's
Yeah.
really tough to
It's
do.
competitive.
Why not
edge.
throw 2 fingers up to celebrate? You
yeah.
wins?
Honestly,
And I'm not saying that he's being competitive. That's what competitors do. Sometimes you taunt, but it's hard for me to say it wasn't a penalty. I know this is not what you all want to hear right now.
Yeah.
This is quality.
especially because it was like with 5 minutes left, and it was
You still
over.
can't taunt though.
It's-
That's
okay,
a taunting
again,
penalty
That
by
alone,
definition.
no, I don't know. Then you gonna every time Tyreek Hill does it, are you gonna throw a flag?
They threw flags on him. They have.
Not
every time.
No.
Every
They
time.
used to in the past.
And then they stopped.
Well, and when
Okay.
he's running, it's kind of
Okay.
different than getting up in someone's
Okay.
face.
Well, hey, you don't want to get taunted. Don't lose 31-9.
Fair enough. Let's keep moving on. Talking
was
about the
penalty,
Chiefs'
though.
defense because it was pretty ugly today. Tyrann Mathieu, you could tell he didn't play bad, but you could tell he was getting frustrated just because he was getting targeted often. Players were making plays against him. They got their main guys involved. Actually, I don't know. Did Evans even get anything? I'm trying to think.
I think
I think he
there
had
might have
one
been a couple. Let me
catch.
check.
Yeah. But they were spreading the ball around a bit, and Brady was on
One
his
catch
game.
for 31 yards for
Oh yeah,
Evans.
he had that one deep. Yeah, that's right. So it was a pretty nice
He also
performance
drew a penalty.
by that Bucs offense, but
You're right,
that
yes.
Chiefs defense really not very stout in this one, and that was another reason why we saw the game end how it did.
Yeah, only one sack in that game. That was Frank Clark, and that
It
was early.
on.
After that, 0 pass rush from them. The secondary was not doing very good in the first half. A lot of holding penalties. They cleaned up the penalties, but still, the Bucs were able to move the ball on them through the air. I think very important that the Bucs also established that run game, which really helped them out. Brady was playing his game, checking the ball down a bit more, and you know what? Brady was just taking whatever he can get. And the Chiefs, they were trying to cover deep because they didn't want to let any more big touchdowns go. But then Brady just check it down to guys like Leonard Fournette or any other people who are running short. And if they try to cover those short ones, they'll hit someone down the seam like he did the Gronk a few times. So that's just what Brady can do to you. You could say that, it's not Patrick Mahomes level craziness, like, oh my gosh, his arm talent. But
Yeah,
he's
Brady's also 18 years older, right?
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is that's the game that Tom Brady plays. It's a game he's played for a while. He's so smart. That's why he's so good at it. And he really picked apart that defense today.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yesterday for you.
It was awesome to watch. Yeah, yesterday. Basically, I mean, this one, we're not pre-recording it too much because we want to get this out as soon as possible because it's a Super Bowl video.
Yep.
But the storyline, either way, it would have been fun to watch the storyline of it. But seeing Tom Brady hoist that Lombardi Trophy up again is nice, and it's probably a lot nicer for people to see him with the Bucs doing that with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Here at the table, we didn't care. We award success, and we love Tom Brady.
I love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I wanted him to win all the Super Bowls with the Patriots. Of course, when he was on the other team, then I wanted to lose. And he wins. Again. So what's new? But one more point I wanted to make before this video ends. I wanted to go back to the first half. I wanted to talk about the Chiefs' offense real quick. And after that first drive, it kind of seemed like the way they were running offense was kind of just like too flashy. They were trying a lot of misdirection plays against a really good defense. They were trying to look like the Rams a bit. And the Bucs were really figuring them out.
That wasn't a shot.
If they were taking too long to run plays, the Bucs were getting there really fast. And what they had to do was they had to go back to their style. I know that they have this other style where they can make those crazy plays, but also a style that has really been helpful to this Chiefs team throughout their whole season is kind of that check down to Travis Kelce stuff. And then once you get enough of those, then you take your deep shots. Try to get somewhat of a run game going, keep all the receivers involved. And it kind of seemed like they were trying to go too many screen passes, too many misdirection plays, and they were just getting eaten alive because they were taking too long, trying to be too special with some things. And it ended up biting them in the butt. They kind of changed how they played towards the end of the game, but still the pressure was getting onto them. So I can't stress it enough. The Buccaneers defense played great. Also wish that the Chiefs offense had a bit better of a game plan to start off the game just because I wasn't liking what they did. I thought that once they got Travis Kelce going the way he usually is going, then that could have been something that won them the game. That's why I picked him to be the MVP just a few days ago. But ultimately, those factors did not play out the way the Chiefs wanted them to do, and this game played perfectly how the Buccaneers had imagined it in their heads. I do want to say, if this game was played tomorrow, it could go completely the other direction. But you know what? It was played today on February 7th. That's how football is, and the Buccaneers played a fantastic game. I give credit where credit is due. I may not have wanted this team to win. I might not have thought they played a good enough regular season to be here. But you know what? They stepped it up, and they, no matter what I said in those other games, the Saints game and the Packers game about them kind of getting a game handed to them, they handed this game to themselves. They went out there and played a good game. They won this game themselves. It wasn't because of interceptions or other things the team gave them. I'll give credit where credit is due, and the Bucs played a really good game. They won this game themselves.
Yeah, they played best when they needed to the most, and that's what great football teams do. That's what Tom Brady's been doing for his entire career, it seems like. So, I mean, it was really just a congratulations to the Buccaneers on kind of fixing their mistakes for the last time we saw it. We talked about it, but Todd Bowles was a lot better of containing Tyreek Hill, especially. I'm sure they were focusing him on it because he had like 500 yards in the first half last time those two teams played. Obviously, I'm over-exaggerating. Kelsey let do some stuff. On the other side of the ball, we saw Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians. They were getting the offense going very nicely, consistently. And it's just the props to that coaching staff, to the players with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to Jason Light, the GM, for drafting great in the last 2 years and going out and getting Brady and signing all these different players. So congratulations to the Buccaneers, Super Bowl 55 champions, Tom Brady's 7th Super Bowl ring, his 5th Super Bowl MVP, I believe. Insane. A lot of those guys in the team, that's their first Super Bowl. A lot of young people on the Buccaneers. So congratulations to Tampa Bay Buccaneers players, staff, and fans. You're Super Bowl champions. Chiefs fans, don't worry. I'm sure you'll be back at some point. But it's cool to see. It's been a great 2020-2021 NFL season. It's officially over with this last game. Thank you guys.
I got a question before we end the video. Did this really feel like a Super Bowl game to you guys? So I know there was the hype leading up to it, but even though it was different than hype in many years before, but just for some reason when I was watching it, I didn't get that feeling that I got in other Super Bowl games. I don't know why. Maybe because it wasn't close, but I just didn't get it. Maybe it was something in me, but I just didn't get that feeling as much. And I wasn't as goosebumpsy when the team won, maybe because we knew they were going to win for a while, but usually I would be, and just it was different this year for me. Well, I don't know.
You have a point. For me, always just seeing, the introductions and the teams around the field, that always just gives me chills, and it makes me be like, whoa, like, this is pretty cool.
We're here.
Like, oh my gosh. And these aren't even my teams. Like, if it was my team and like I had a horse race, I'd be going nuts.
If it was my team, I'd be like sitting there like scared.
Yeah,
like, if they lose, I'm gonna be devastated.
Yeah, I'd be like, like more scared than enjoying it if it was my team. But even just seeing, the Chiefs and the Bucs run out there in the introductions, and I got the feel from that. And in the first half, it felt like a Super Bowl. It wasn't the most exciting ever all the time, but I thought we had some good plays. It was 21-6 at half, so not horrible. But then I do think in the second half, maybe is where I got like, okay, this is, not really intense. And there were points where even though I too wanted Tampa Bay to win in partially because I picked them, where I was like, okay, Kansas City, please score here. So it's somewhat interesting. So I think maybe when a game gets as lopsided as it does in the third and fourth quarter and Tampa Bay pulls away like they did, I think that's a factor. But I'd say for the pregame and for the first half, it felt pretty intense to me. But I just think in the second half, it died down because we had a pretty good idea of who was going to come out on top.
I agree. Good commercials, I thought, especially at the beginning. The first quarter commercials, by the way, I thought were the best. And it kind of just went downhill from there, personally.
One more thing to mention for me. But
I thought the halftime show was good. I thought the game itself was fun. Sure, it wasn't as close, but we've had plenty of Super Bowls that just aren't close. But I get what you're saying. It didn't completely feel like we're watching the last game of the NFL season.
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to say was, as we get towards the butt end of this video, your brother Ryan, you guys did a Super Bowl squares thing,
yes.
And he bought one square, and that square was 9 and 1, and it was 1 for the Bucs and 9 for the Chiefs.
Yep.
And in the third and fourth quarter, the score was 31-9, and so his brother, who only bought one square out of the many for $5, cashed in $250 minus the $5 he put in. So he ended up getting a net of $145 after putting, or two, excuse me. Yes.
Okay. Luckily, this is just a football, not a math video.
Yeah, that's true. Although I did help Ryan with math the other day, but anyways, $245, not bad for only buying one square. Yeah, anyway, thought it was something, an interesting story to be thrown in there.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to my cousin who predicted this win or game.
Yes, that's right.
Again.
So that's it, guys. We made it. We were done with the Super Bowl. 2020-2021 season is over.
I'm already on it, but
keep Buccaneers won Super Bowl 55. Thank you guys for sticking along with us this entire season. Like I said, we'll continue.
Gratitude to everyone who has ever watched one of these videos, everyone who has ever supported us, and at a time that it comes down to the end of the season, we're not done yet. We'll still be here for you.
We're still here.
Fulfill your football needs. But sincerest gratitude to everyone who's watched these videos. It means a heck of a lot to us. We love doing this. It means the world to us that we have support from you guys, people, our family, stuff like that. So thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I know we're not a huge channel or anything, but exactly. But everything kind of means a lot to us. We have a fantastic time with it. We had an awesome season. Thank you two as well for being alongside me.
And you too.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
No, you two and YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube.
Hey, in honor of Bruce Arians, it's been a great ride.
It has been a
But
great
we're just
ride.
getting started.
Yes,
The
that's
season,
right.
the season's ending. We got plenty of
Yeah,
off-season
the touchdown
videos
table
coming.
journey. For the touchdown table, the best is yet to come.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So thank you again.
Yes, thank
We
you.
love you all.
Good message, Jordan. So thanks for sticking along with us. Like I said multiple times now, we will be making videos throughout the offseason. So don't think you can just leave the touchdown table now that the season's over, because that's not happening. We're making draft
It'll never
videos,
happen.
off-season stuff. It's going to be fun
Not today.
over the offseason. So season's over. Brady, 7 rings. Bucs, second Super Bowl win in their franchise history. Congratulations to players, fans, staff. You guys did it. Congratulations. Now, make sure to like this video. We're transitioning from the congratulations and thank yous. Like this video. Subscribe
you.
to our channel with the notification bell. Comment down below.
Thank you all.
Comment down below about this game. What did you guys think? Were the commercials good? Did you like the halftime show? Did you think the Bucs deserved to win? I hope you did, because they really did. In
Even
this
I
game.
did.
Who was your MVP pick in this one? Anything other thoughts you have about this game or ideas for the offseason? We'd love to hear them. Thank you guys for watching this video. And
Thank
with
you
that,
all.
we will see you guys later.
See ya.